All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of Coffee and Questions. What are we going to talk about today? Here's an interesting thing. I went out and I met some of the club members because some of us had the day off. There was about 3 or 4 of us. One of the guys said, hey, I'll go with you because I was going to go down to this place where I told you the past video where I've been picking up wood, and I get these old planes from like the one up here. I showed you in the past video. Anyway, so we went down there and I sorted through, picked up a couple pieces of wood, and on the way home, we saw somebody clearing a residential lot. They were cutting down a small mesquite tree, and I thought, damn, I wish I could have some of that wood. And he goes, well, go ahead and pull over. And so we pulled over, we were in his truck, and he jumps out and he goes, well, how much of it do you want? And I go, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind like, 4 or 5 logs of it, something like that. I can cut them, put anchor seal on them, and use them later for wood turning. And I go, but these things are too long. So he reaches in the back, pulls out this Bauer chainsaw, battery pack, right? And I'm like, oh, hell no. I thought, this thing, no, you got to be kidding, because I don't believe in battery packed tools like that when it comes to like a chainsaw. What do I have at home? I have a Stihl and I have a Makita. Well, let me show you a picture real quick and I'll continue the conversation. Okay, so now you saw the ones that I have. Anyway, and I'm going to switch pictures in a minute and I'll put up the Harbor Freight ad and we'll talk about it. But he reaches in the back, pulls this thing out, goes over and cuts these logs. They were probably about like this big around, okay? They were probably 6-8 inches, whatever. I was actually surprised. Now, he did make a couple of modifications on his. He told me when he got it, he wasn't real fond of the chain blade that was on there, and he went out and got another one, and I'll give you the link and describe that to you in a minute, from Oregon. And man, this thing just went through there, and I was like actually incredibly surprised, and I was like, wow, I got to do a video on this. This is pretty cool. So I spent some time talking to him, and I did some research, and I went over some of this. And so what are some of the pros and cons? Well, it's great for small branches, and he told me, no, you can cut bigger stuff. You're just not going to be able to cut it for like long lengths of time. He leaves it in his truck because he does a lot of camping. When I read in the comments, that's where it comes in really handy for people. Or if you're just cutting like shrubs and like small branches and stuff around your house, it's a perfect tool for that without spending a whole bunch of money on a much more expensive chainsaw that you probably don't really need. So, okay, so, we were sitting there conversing about it, and I go, can I pick it up? And so it's pretty lightweight, really. He said one downside was when he bought his, the battery and the charger, well, they're sold separately, and you got to buy those separately, which he didn't mind doing it because, like I said, he wanted to use his more as a mobile tool. Okay, and it holds a charge fine. The battery pack works good. It charges fairly fast, and we'll go over some of the details in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the ad up now, and then I'm going to go down the rest of this with you and tell you about some of the specs, some of the things that he told me he does now that he owns it that help improve everything. So I'll see you in just a minute inside, and we'll continue the conversation. All right, folks, so here we are inside, and we're taking a look at that Harbor Freight cordless chainsaw, 20 volt. And it has a 10-inch reach on it. And like I said, the thing is, it's a good deal at $80. Now, a lot of times there's a $10 off coupon that you can apply to this. I found one, it's not good that much longer, but I'm sure there's more of them out there. And I'll post the one that I found in a little bit. And you can actually just, I'll remove my picture, use your phone, take a photograph of it, and use it over the next 2-3 days or whatever that it's still, valid for. Runtime 30 minutes according to the specs on this. A friend of mine said he's never really timed it, but he said it's more than enough for when he's out camping, to cut up logs and branches and stuff like that for making pit fires. So he also recommends that you buy 2 batteries. That way you have a backup if you want to go past that 30-minute runtime. While one's charging, you'll be able to use the other. So he ended up with the 2 batteries, and that's a good suggestion. It's rated to cut logs up to 9 inches. You could probably go bigger, I mean, if you're just careful about what you're doing and cutting, but that's what the rating said on it. I would tell you, as with any chainsaw, you keep both hands on this thing and don't let go. Don't let it kick back up on you or anything like that where you're going to get hurt. A lot of times that kickback and the injuries that it causes is because people use it incorrectly. I don't want to say all the time, but there are times where I've read about it where they didn't have both hands on it. So that's just a safety suggestion for you. It says there's two different batteries. There's the 1.5, which will work, and then the 3.0. 3.0 is what's recommended. Is it quiet running? Yeah, when he cut that mesquite log for me, it ran very quiet. It's not a complaint, but I mean, when we were talking, I thought, well, it'd be nice if Harbor Freight made a package. I mean, to where you have the 3.0 battery, charger, everything sold as a complete unit. If you read here, this says tool only. So at $80 and you find the $10 coupon, okay, so you're down to 70, but then you got to still turn around. Obviously you need a battery, and obviously you need a charger, and you have to buy those separately. I think it would be a good marketing idea if Harbor Freight watches my video. I mean, anyway, to make a complete kit or package deal out of it, and some little, you know, kind of a carrying case, whether it's canvas or, you know, whatever. It'd be nice because we all, you know, like with me and with this friend of mine, we haul them around in our vehicles. So I also don't want to go cut up a bunch of wood and then, you know, you got to throw it in the back of your car. And it's nice to be able to drop it into a bag is what I'm saying. So it'd be nice if it was a complete kit with a bag. That's, you know, my take. But other people might disagree. I just think it would be a good marketing tool that, you know, Harbor Freight could consider. Another complaint, it uses a lot of oil. Yeah, it does. What the friend of mine does is buys the cheap oil from, what is it, AutoZone or O'Reilly's. I think it's 1030 weight or something like that. And he just uses cheap oil in it, and it doesn't matter. And you don't have to fill it all the way to the top every time. You've got a little looking glass reservoir on there. If you know you're only going to use it to cut up a few branches, just fill it up a little bit. That's the other nice thing about having a container, a bag or something like that to put it in, with like a towel under it or something, so it doesn't leak through and get all over your car, your upholstery, your carpeting. Anyway, does it have torque? Yeah, I can't tell you how much, but I used it. It's got good torque. Okay, getting back to the blade. The one that came on, it's okay. It was nothing great. A friend of mine went and got an Oregon blade, and he got it at Lowe's. And let me see, it's Oregon Advanced 10-inch blade, and it was $40. He said it fits on this like a glove, fits on here perfect, and it's an exact fit, and it cuts like there's no tomorrow, because those Oregon chainsaw blades are incredibly nice cutting blades. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say, because I have them on both my other saws, the Stihl and the Makita. I always buy Oregon blades. Well, if you don't use the coupon I post up here in a little bit, you can always go onto Facebook under Harbor Freight Couponers. It's a discussion group. Search through that and see if you can find the coupon there, or just type in your search, Harbor Freight coupons. And see if you can narrow down your search. But they're out there frequently. They're usually $10 off on the Bauer chainsaw. That's what I'm used to seeing. Is oil included? Yeah, there's a little bit of oil included, but nothing to talk about. You're going to want to pick up additional oil along with the charger and the battery, and possibly, that blade. But if you do those things to it, it's a nice little addition to have, for those quick uses. Well, there's another suggestion. If Harbor Freight's listening, your marketing department, and you want to listen to me, I'm a smaller channel, but I do use chainsaws frequently. I'm not an expert with them. I'm not an expert at sharpening them, but I use them a lot. One of the things I would tell you is carry high quality chainsaw blades, for replacements, the replacement parts, or the replacement, at least the chainsaw blades, because the one that comes on it is okay, but if you took that and compared it to the Oregon, you would throw this one out. I mean, that's the difference. I would carry better quality replacement blades for people. That's all. Takes up very little shelf space, but maybe they'll consider it. I don't know. Drop a comment below. If you drop a comment below saying something about making these a complete kit with a battery, a charger, and a bag, and hey, can you add chainsaw blades, on into the store? And you put in the comment below on this video, and if Harbor Freight does see it, and I'm told that they do have people that watch reviews off of YouTube all the time, maybe it gets enough visibility where they will consider doing something like that. It's up to you. What about the batteries that Bauer makes? Well, they're 1/3 the cost of all the others out there. That's another big thing. A lot of these batteries can cost as much as the tool. I mean, or, if you just take a look at it, you're going to spend more in batteries than you probably did the tool sometimes. I mean, I had a friend that bought two, larger DeWalt batteries, and easily went over the cost of the tool. Wow, I was just like surprised. Well, not surprised, but anyway. I would tell you, get the two batteries. They're cheap enough when one's charging, especially if you're going to go camping. You want to carry both of them with you for cutting up firewood for your fire pit and stuff. How long does it take to charge the 3.0 battery? 45 minutes on their charger. That's what we timed it at out at the group. And it's also what is, in a lot of these forums, in the comment section, everybody agrees it's about 45 minutes for a full charge. But it's powerful and it's quiet. I think it's well worth it. How do you know when the battery's dying? Well, I don't own it. Like I said, a friend of mine does. He said the saw will begin to stop like more and more. And that's letting you know that the battery's wearing down and it's just about in need of charging. So, again, pick up two batteries. I have a cordless drill. I always have two batteries, one charging or charged and the other in the drill. Nothing's more frustrating than to be cutting something and realize you got to go wait 45 minutes or an hour, but especially when the batteries are as cheap as they are with the Bauer. What do I think of the oil leak? My Makita leaks oil. So does my Still. But I keep them hung in a place where if anything leaks out of them when I'm done using them, it's not going to damage anything. Now, my chainsaws, I take care of them. Okay, when I'm done using them, I have a blowgun. I blow it all out real well, get all the debris, everything out of there, and I wipe them down real well before I put them, back where I store them. And I have actually a cover that goes over the blade. So I take about as good a care of these, as I can. And that Makita I've had it for years, and it works perfectly fine still. So just take care of your tools. But Bauer seems to be a very handy one to have. Another complaint, you can't see the battery charge level without removing the battery. Yeah, but it only takes a second to pop it out, look at it, put it back in. I don't see that that's a negative. I mean, I don't know. People put that in the negative comment section about this. I'm not seeing it. I don't see it's a negative. Well, what do I think? I think it's great for occasional use in and around the home, camping, and light duty stuff like that. It's a fantastic thing to have handy. And we've already talked about the run time, putting a sharper blade on it and so forth. I was glad the friend of mine had it with him in his truck today. I was able to get those mesquite logs, and I never thought about it because at home, I would have had to gone home, got the gas powered Still, and it's been sitting for a long time. Make sure it fired up, it runs okay, all that, load it up, go all the way back down there. He had this in this bag. He just had almost like a gym bag, and he's got like a towel in the bottom of it, and he just sets it in there when he's done. It works perfectly. And he slides it in, under the back seat of it goes in behind the back seat of his truck. And I thought, well, this is slick. I mean, this actually comes in really handy. So for those kinds of uses, I give this thing a 2 thumbs up, and yeah, I would tell you to buy it. If you are getting more into things like I am, doing lots and lots of wood cutting, okay, then you want to step up your game, okay, from this. But this is fantastic for the uses that I just explained. Last comment on here before we wrap this up. I mean, somebody said, does Harbor Freight ever put Bauer in the, I think what you're trying to ask me, does Harbor Freight put Bauer in the exclusions list when they put out coupons for 20, 25, and percent off and so on? I don't know. You have to explode that and look at that. The one thing that I'm not fond of that Harbor Freight does is it seems to me the exclusions on these discount coupons keeps getting bigger and longer as they add in Icon, as they add in, you know, Vulcan, and I mean, I don't know. There's other brands of tools that are damn good tools that they're selling, and that will be, you know, in that list of things where you cannot use the coupon on. I mean, I think that that's too bad that you keep adding to the list and making it longer and longer. Maybe there's another way in terms of marketing or advertising. I mean, where you can come back and say, hey, look, you buy this, you spend so much money out here today. Let's say you spend $100, then you can have this much off anything in the store. Or in terms of dollars, it doesn't have to be a percentage. But then that way you don't pile in like all of these restrictions on using these coupons. I always end up exploding them and reading them because a lot of times, yeah, I agree with you. It's disappointing to find out that what you want to use the coupon on or what you want to go buy, you can't. I understand. But again, maybe Harbor Freight listens to this and, you know, drop a comment below. I mean, say something about how you feel about it. That's how I feel about it. And maybe from what I'm told, the reps at Harbor Freight, they do look at these review videos. They do pay attention to them to get, you know, additional ideas, whether it's engineering ideas or marketing ideas. But, you know, I would tell you, it's one way, you know, we can get them to read our comments and what we think as consumers. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe, keep following me. I hope you folks have a good day. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.